The number of children diagnosed with autism is growing, and that means it's become an issue that needs to be dealt with by the entire community, not just families who have children with autism. And joining me with ideas on community involvement and collaboration is Michele Lamarche. She's the Executive Director of Step by Step Academy. Michele, it's good to see you again.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The statistics go up, and I'm sure you're seeing that in your school. You probably have more and more students.
There's definitely a wait list. It really doesn't seem to go away. So that's unfortunate, but also what is, I guess, on the positive side is that there's services available. And so how do we get them to the families? How do we educate the community so that those families get directed to the right places as early as possible?
And speaking of direct places, they may come to Step by Step, which you're not a school. How do you help families?
Correct. We're not a school. We're actually a mental health agency. We hold several different certifications and designations. We are a waiver provider, which helps families in the home environment. We provide true and traditional mental health treatment, so counseling, diagnostics, assessments, but we also are an autism scholarship provider, and that's where the education component comes in. So working toward those IEP goals using really the intensive behavioral intervention strategies that we are trained to do.
Hopefully then to get that child into the school system.
Right, or into at least a successful education placement that will take them further.
You've always said, and today, even more importantly with the numbers going up, that early intervention is key.
Yes.
You can provide that.
Absolutely. Early intervention is key, and what we're hoping to do is just help build that awareness in the community, make sure that families are getting referred to any of the different providers that are in the Columbus area or across the state as quickly as possible, because the sooner that we can start to provide that intervention, the more likely we'll be able to make the outcomes and the gains that we're looking for.
It really is that much more doable to help this child if you get that child even at 1 or 2 years old?
Oh, absolutely. Even less than, even younger than, well, 2, so as early as 12 months.
Wow.
Which is, I think, one of the new things that we're seeing in the literature, and what people are trying to identify what those signs are much more quickly so that we can start intervention as soon as possible. The brain is just much more malleable. There's a lot of learning taking place.
Makes sense.
And you want to capitalize on that time, because your learning process slows down as you get older. It doesn't mean you can't learn, it just slows. So.
And you also mentioned collaboration. Who are you collaborating with?
Collaboration is something that we focused on really for about 18 months now, and the reason being is that there's a lot of providers in our community that all have very specific specialties.
Right, and
so
I said in the last one, more and more all the time.
Exactly, and those different disciplines really do need to work together, I think, in order to provide the most comprehensive treatment plan and education plan for a specific child. So we've been collaborating with school districts through Partners for Success. That's a program that we created a few years ago. We're now collaborating with local providers that are similar to us but have different specialties, like Hogland Learning Center. Their specialty is truly academics and education training, where we are much more the intervention, autism symptom reduction. And so if we can combine those, now we create hopefully the best package of treatment available for that kid.
And in the end, it's the families who benefit. It's the child with autism
That's the goal.
who's benefiting.
That's the goal, absolutely.
I'm sure, though, there is some difficulties in partnering. Do you see more and more of these agencies realizing that collaboration is important?
I think that it's starting to happen, especially when you look at partnering with agencies that are outside of our state. So we fly different experts in from all over the country. We're asked to go to other places and collaborate. I think that, we're trying to learn from each other and what our practices are telling us, as well as pull from the literature. So it's starting, and it's definitely, it has its challenges, because I think it makes people nervous. Well, why would you need other help? But I think that our focus really is to say, this is what we do best, and then let's pull in those others who do these other things much better than we do, or even a little bit better, and so that way we can improve the treatment overall.
Good stuff. And I know there'll be more tonight in our special. Michele,
yes,
thank you very much.
Thank you again for having me.